Welcome guys. This video is all about the AKM, and I will tell you everything that I know and learned from my experience, which might help you. Why should you use this weapon? Because the AKM is one of the most powerful weapons in close combat fights, which is why you need to learn how to use this weapon. So in this video, we will be going over these topics. The stats of the weapon and recoil pattern of AKM to see how bad the recoil will be when we compare it against its competitors, and how should you use this weapon properly at its best performance, and also when should you use this weapon, and lastly few tips about the AKM. So why the AKM is still one of the powerful weapons in PUBG Mobile, even though there are few weapons like Uzi, Vector, M762 etc. that can outperform AKM easily. The main reason is AKM's damage. Everyone knows it has the highest damage in any assault rifles, which is approximately 48. It can achieve that high damages because it uses 7.62 ammunition, which is basically sniper ammunition. So when you hit a headshot, you will deal 2.3 times more damage than usual. So now you can easily one-shot kill enemy when the opponent isn't wearing any helmets. If you are using AKM, always go for the head, because AKM deals really high damage to the head. It just takes 2 shots to the head, including a level 3 helmet, just 2 shots, your enemy will be dead. Anyway, moving on to the damage per second, the maximum DPS you can achieve with AKM is 470, which is kinda good, because most of the other weapons will have slightly lower DPS. And the next thing is bullet velocity. If you ever notice that when using AKM to shoot at a moving vehicle, most of your bullets won't hit the vehicle due to slightly lower bullet velocity. AKM's bullets will travel 200 meters per second slower than 5.56 assault rifles like M4 and SCAR-L. This won't be an issue if your target is under 100 meters, but if it's further away, it will be really difficult to shoot at a moving target due to the slow bullet speed and extremely high recoil. Talking about the recoil, let's take a look at spray patterns of AKM. For this test, I will be shooting at a wall for 5 times to get the 5 samples of spray pattern, which is not 100% accurate, but we can work with that. Anyway, this first test is done without using any attachments in AKM other than the red dot, which doesn't affect the recoil. So this is the recoil pattern for AKM without any attachments. By the way, few months ago I saw a lot of comments asking, using a suppressor on AKM will increase the recoil? I did another same test with a suppressor equipped. It doesn't do anything with recoil stays the same. But you might be thinking, why the suppressor one has a bit more horizontal recoil? The horizontal recoil is totally random. Sometimes you get lucky by having less horizontal spread, and sometimes you get unlucky. So it's totally random. And I repeated the same test with a compensator equipped, and it looks like it reduced the recoil by about 5% I guess, and compensator will give the maximum recoil reduction. And for comparison, let's compare against its competitors like Barrel M762. The first spray pattern test is done without any attachments equipped, and the recoil is about 15% higher than AKM, which is definitely a big win for AKM. But as you start putting attachments to Barrel, it keeps getting better. This yellow spray pattern is Barrel with a compensator equipped, which reduces the recoil by about 10% I think. And if you put another attachment, like a vertical grip, it reduces another 10%, making it 20 to 25% reduction in recoil. And it comes close to the AKM's recoil. Here is an interesting thing. Barrel with all the attachments recoil pattern is more stable and easy to control than AKM's recoil. I recently put a poll asking which gun do you use, AKM or Barrel. Most of you picked Barrel due to this reason. Barrel is more stable and a little bit easier to use, only when using all the right attachments. But in case of no attachments, AKM always wins. Just for fun, I also added Groza's recoil to compare. Surprisingly, the Groza beats both Barrel and AKM by a really big difference. And the crazy thing is that Groza doesn't require any attachments for recoil reduction. So if you ever find a Groza and you're using AKM or Barrel, just pick up the Groza. And the hip fire of AKM, I can't say it's good or bad, it's kinda in between both of them. As for my experience with AKM, its hip fire can be good sometimes, and sometimes it can be really bad or worse in some cases. So it's not bad nor good, it just falls under the normal category, but it totally depends on how you use this weapon. So how to use the AKM? The AKM is a close combat weapon, and by this means the weapon works great up to 50 meters, but when your target is above 50 meters, then there are some better alternative weapon like M4 and DP28 etc. So this is why you need to have a secondary weapon that can handle mid-range targets from 50 meters to 200 meters. Anyway, here is a tip that might help you. Always use crouch when you're spraying at a distance because crouching will increase the stability and reduce some recoil. And practice spraying at 50 meters target continuously until you get better and better. And most importantly, when your opponent is over 50 meters, don't spray the full round because it's really hard to control, so that's why you need to learn how to burst fire, shoot up to 3 to 5 bullets, and wait 1 second or 1 second gap, and shoot again for up to 3 to 5 bullets. In this way, it's easier. But if you shoot the full magazine anyway, then after the first 5 bullets the AKM's recoil will start to go crazy and you won't be able to hit your target. And AKM is the best weapon in early games, especially when you just landed and you found AKM. You must be lucky because it does incredible damage to non-armored targets. Anyway, that's all I got for this video. I hope you learned something new. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe for more upcoming content like these. See you guys in the next video.